Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with mysticgenmara.com and new camera, so we'll see how this works out. Been playing with the microphone trying to get it set up today. That was always fun because the camera has a microphone, but I don't like the audio, so I'm going back to my old one. Yeah, computers. I'm not technology savvy. I prefer to go with the metaphysical stuff. I can understand that better, as weird as that may sound. But today, we are going to do another one of the archangels, and I am working on a plan for September's archangel, the topic. For now, we're just going to go with a newer archangel, which, if you have watched the previous ones, we went with Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael, south, west, north, and east. Now we're going to do two different ones, one today and one on next month, and those are going to be the newer archangels, if you want to call them that. But today is going to be the Sandalphon archangel. And when I say going around the circle, because we've done 4 directions, but in any 3-dimensional space, you actually need 6 points of reference to activate a location. So this one on our cube is going to be the below, the support. They're the one underneath you. Because when you work in metaphysics, time and space do not matter at all. So when you're talking like this, when you're working in a circle type environment, you actually are beyond space and beyond time. So that's the reason I say that Sandalphon is a below angel. It doesn't mean he's underworld. It means that he's supporting you from the earth, basically. So we'll hop right in here. The information I'm using is through my working with Sandalphon, as well as multiple different references just over years. I have journals full of notes, so trying to find out where I found exact information is a little more difficult because I've had that much. He does not have a traditional name because Sandalphon is, like I said, a newer angel. The meaning of the name Sandalphon is brother or the angel of prayer. The color is rich tan in his role as the angel of Malkuth, which is the lowest of the Sephiroth on the Tree of Life. He can also show up in black, olive green, russet, kind of a rusty orange, or citrine. It doesn't always show up like that. To me, he always shows up in tan robes. So that's how I view him. The planet associated is Jupiter. Days of the week is Thursday or Friday, sometimes both, because he is really leading into a fun time. At least when I work with him, it's usually entertaining. There is not a specific time of day. It's all the time. Because he is the brother and the angel of prayer, he's always available to us. And like I said, for how I work with him, it's the below, the down angel, the supporting angel. Most groups would reference him as an all-direction angel. You can use him anywhere. I just prefer, like I said, I have something special planned for September, but I have a cube way of looking at this type of work, and he's the supporting underneath angel. The element associated is also earth with Archangel Uriel. The crystals and stones associated with Sandalphon are sardonyx, yeah, carnelian, calcite, selenite, and tiger's eye. The chakra is the root chakra, the supporting chakra, the one that anchors us to earth. And the powers and abilities that Sandalphon brings forward, or you can ask to help you develop, are understanding ourselves and others, which is really super important when you're working, especially if you're working in healing. Helping you understand who you are allows you to work with another person. If you can't understand who you are at your core, it makes working with another person exceptionally difficult. So, he also helps to enhance empathy or help you to control it. Sometimes our empathy is really strong, and then you need a way to moderate it so you can function in daily life. All forms of learning, overcoming fear, helping to discover our muse and creativity. He also comes forward to help enrich our creativity. So if you are in the middle of a creative endeavor, let's say you're writing, and you have writer's block, you could not type the word "the" to save your life. Calling upon Archangel Sandalphon can actually help you break through that barrier, that block, whatever's not working for you, or he will distract you enough that it releases your block naturally. There are a lot of ways that can work out for you. The spiritual weapon is a sphere. And when I say weapon, it's usually the tool that he uses when he comes to help you, or a circle within a circle. And when I hear circle within a circle, this is going to be a really weird way of associating. But if you've ever watched the movie Contact with Jodie Foster from like 1993, you'll see how they have the device that is 3 different circles that are spinning inside of each other. That's how I see that tool when it says a circle within a circle. It's just small enough to fit in his hand. So something to think about. If you're working with Kabbalah, like I said earlier, it's his Sephira is Malkuth, the beginning of the tree associated with feet and grounding. And the choir associated with him, if you like to do choirs, I'm not a big fan of the choir system. I know that there's a purpose for it, I just don't use it, is the Ashim, which is his primary one, but like the flowing angel he is, he goes everywhere all the time. His other one is the cherubim, or the cherubim, depending on how you want to say that. A lot of it's depending on how you were raised. More recent color associations that have come forward with him are dark orange and white. The white I personally have never seen. It's a reference from other people that I've talked to or read about. So that's something that you can think about. And with Sandalphon, the colors tend to be earth-based. So when you have earth-based colors, it's any of those like greens, blues, browns, not so much blues, but that type of color is what you can work with Sandalphon. And when I say using colors, you can use a candle that's associated with that color. The stones are specific to working with him. But you can also take a round circle with that color, of just that color, like construction paper, and use it as a meditation focus, and it allows you to tap into that energy as well. So there's a lot of different ways you can work with him. So as I said at the first of the video, Sandalphon is one of the very interesting newer angels that have come up. According to legend, he is one of the 2 different angels that were human prophets before they ascended to their angelic stand. Sandalphon was believed to be the prophet Elijah, who was translated or taken to heaven without ever seeing death. He is also associated with the Ark of the Covenant in that he is said to be one of the cherubim on the lid, so he is a real big protector of spiritual energy as well. Sandalphon is aligned with the Shekinah glory in the Bible and the Jewish texts. The Shekinah glory, if you were to look at it in a literal sense, is divine feminine energy in the original language. So the energy associated with Sandalphon generally is feminine, even though he shows up masculine. It's because he comes across sensitive and compassionate, but he's also not one you want to tango with, because if he, he's a very good protector in that respect. Sandalphon traditionally is the angel who weaves our prayers into the cord that connects us to God, divine source energy, however you choose to see that aspect. He stands on earth and delivers prayers to heaven where his upper body resides. The thing with this angel, Sandalphon, and the other one, which will come in August, we're talking about some very, very massive angels. A lot of the other ones will show up and their presence will be a little bit taller than what we are in meditation, but their energy's big. These guys actually usually show up in their fully massive size. Sandalphon tends to soften his appearance so he will, be a normal sized when you're working with him. But understand that the actual energy field around them, because they were human, elevated to a divine or semi-divine aspect, because of their spiritual practice, their energy is significantly larger in a lot of ways. Lost my place. So he comes to us when we're seeking answers or comfort. That's the big part with him. Like I said, with that feminine energy that comes forward, working with Sandalphon really is a comforting experience. It's relaxing to be around Sandalphon. He usually comes when we are needing a break, is the other part about that. It is said that the sweetest sound made by any angel is the beat of Sandalphon's heart. It's a soothing sound. It's a joyful sound. It releases tension when you are working with him. He loves to be creative and playful. That's the other part of it. Is working with your creativity is awesome, but if you reach a state of burnout, like you've been working on this writing project and you're so focused, but now you're hitting that wall and you can't see straight, or you're working on a painting, or you're doing some form of fiber arts, needlecraft, something like that, but you're just reaching that stuck point and you can't break through it, a lot of the times he will help us find fun in our work and in our educational play. Because if we stay focused on strictly work for, like a lot of us do, 24/7, 365, we work. On our vacations we're working, just because that's what we always do. He will find a way to distract you with something fun. Something like a puppy or a kitten, or if you've got children that are going to come in and be like, come play tag with us, and you're just going to feel compelled to go. That's because Sandalphon's pushing you out of your chair. He wants you to go enjoy life. Working is only one part of life, but especially in the Western world, we've made that the focus of life, where the majority of our time spent is working. We don't have downtime. We don't take the time to take a break, to have breath, to just be. Sandalphon, when he shows up when I'm working with him, generally does not show up in angelic robes. His wings are never visible unless I call on him for that purpose. He shows up in khaki or tan gym shorts, generally with soccer cleats on, sometimes tennis shoes, always a white t-shirt. Kills me because I don't know how you wear white ever, but that's him. And a soccer ball. And I don't know why I'm not a big soccer fan. Football for the rest of the world, the United States, we call it soccer. I've never been a big fan of soccer. I'll watch it with like my friends and their kids, or if someone I know is playing, I'll watch a game. It's not something I've ever enjoyed, but he always shows up with a soccer ball trying to, let's go do something fun. Let's go play. Let's go have fun. Because one of my bad habits is I tend to overwork. So when he shows up, it's like, we're done with work, let's go play. On the rare occasion that I do get to see his wings, they're this burnished tan, like polished jasper or tiger's eye, the golden aspect of tiger's eye. They're shiny and they're always accented with little silver flecks. So when he does show up in his full angelic form, it is exceptionally impressive, because it's this very toned down tan robes, but then these wings are just almost electric. They're shiny and they're flashy with the little silver sparkles. He's very, very, very much a fun angel to work with if you get the chance. So, as usual, there's a couple of different ways you can connect with him. Really going outside and just being in the sun with your bare feet on the ground and asking to have him come inspire you, to work with you, to help you find that work-life balance. Those are easy ways to do it. If you're stuck indoors, like it's wintertime when you're watching this, or you are in a situation where you just can't go outside right now, you can take a tan candle or any of the Malkuth colors, which is black, olive green, that russet orange brown, or yellow, and hold a piece of quartz, preferably with your bare feet on the floor. That's one thing with the angels. You always want to have your feet grounding you, so bare feet is a good way to always work with them. And then just relax and take deep belly breaths. We breathe so much from our lungs, our upper chest, so when we breathe, our abdomen doesn't move, which is a sign of stress, and it can cause anxiety really bad. It's the shallow breathing. So when you're breathing, you want to bring your breath down to your belly. It relaxes you to expand your belly when you inhale, and when you exhale, just allow the muscles of your abdomen to pull in, which makes your diaphragm flex, and that's a good way to calm your breathing down so that you can keep going. And when you just take 3 or 4 minutes of doing that type of breathing, you're going to notice a difference, and the angels can work with you better when you're in a more calm state. If it's an emergency, obviously that's not going to be an option, but if you are planning it, take the time to do the breath work to bring yourself into that calmer state. So when you're working with him and you're calling him in, some of the first scents you're going to notice, because sense of smell is part of our relaxation energy, is what I've experienced. So when you start to do that, you're going to smell that warm summer afternoon, that freshly cut grass, the kind of that warm air smell, not so much the smoky fire stuff, which happens a lot in the West, but the way the earth smells as it's being baked by the sun, there's a very specific smell to summer afternoons, and we all have our own opinion of that, and that's what you're going to notice when you first start working with him. And when you are breathing, when you exhale, you always want to visualize the stress leaving you. Any negative energy, any negative thoughts, let them out when you breathe out. So when you breathe in, you're breathing in that warm, the scent of summer, however that comes off to you. And when you're exhaling, you're literally breathing out anything that's not working, the negativity, the frustration. Breathe it out and allow it to leave. Don't bring it back in. Just leave it out there. The angels and the fairies will clean that stuff up for you. And once you've relaxed and you're ready to really connect, which means your body is settled, your shoulders have dropped, that tension that we hold right here in the back of our neck is let go. Ask God Source Divine Energy to send Archangel Sandalphon to you. And once you start to really work with him, you'll be able to sense his presence when he shows up. You can ask about any fears that you're having, try to work through them with him. Any creative endeavor, like you have this really awesome idea, but you don't know, you see the end product, you don't know step 1 or 2. This is where Sandalphon shines. He will show up and he'll give you these little bursts of information as you work on and enhance your intuitive abilities, your clairs, especially clairaudience. You'll be able to start to hear him better. A lot of the times it'll come right out the beginning as an impression, or this random thought will pop into your head, and those are divine guidance coming through Sandalphon. He's also a good one when we are helping us understand who we are, and he helps us understand others, which is a form of empathy. Now, there's 2 different versions of empathy that people talk about, and I don't think there's not a lot of difference to me, but it's in how you respond to them. When we're talking about, especially with Sandalphon, how he's helping us understand ourselves and see others more clearly, it's allowing you to see them over there, see their energy, to see that the hurt that they're maybe trying to hide. Empathy means experiencing or understanding another person. A lot of people mean, I take on their energy and I feel everything that they feel. That's unhealthy, and that's not a good way to be, and that's how Sandalphon can help you understand their emotions from a distance and not bring them in, because you bring their energy into yours when you open that door with empathy, and it's really going to cause you a lot of stress over time, and it's not healthy to feel another person's energy like that. It's better to experience it at a distance so that you can understand where they're at and how to help them. But if you bring their energy into your field, you're not helping them, you're getting into the mud with them, and that's just never a good way for life to work. It's better to learn how to control your skills and your gifts, allowing you to understand yourself, which keeps their energy away, but allowing you to understand the other person and to have compassion for them. Because if you're standing in your knowledge of who you are, your strength, then you can reach out a hand and help them, because you can see stuff that they may not be aware of, or you might see a way to help them that they are basically not wanting to acknowledge at the time, but when you bring it forward in a compassionate way, then you can help them get out of where they're at. And that is a really big blessing that Sandalphon can bring to us, just to help us understand that gift of empathy a little bit better, because a lot of people have it and they don't know how to control it, and it actually dominates their every waking minute, and it causes them a lot of unnecessary stress. So if you have empathy and you get overwhelmed, start working with Sandalphon. Learn how to ground is another big one. And I may, if this is a topic you guys are interested in, go over some things in a future video about those type of topics. So once you've brought in Sandalphon, you've worked with him, thank Sandalphon and the Divine for connecting you. Take 3 deep breaths if you're in a meditative state, and then you can open your eyes. The one thing with the angels that I've found is you don't have to be in a fully meditative state to work with them. A lot of the times I will start working with them when I'm, or talking to them at least, when I'm in the kitchen, or if I'm doing folding laundry, because that really bores me. So strike up a conversation with your friends, even if you can't physically see them all the time. And that's a way just so that you can connect and build that bond. It's better if you're working, especially with the angels, to start to build that open communication. That way when stuff gets more serious, you can call out and you'll know that they're there versus hoping that they're there. And it's one of those things where, how do you have a friend if you don't communicate with them? So if you want to go for a nature hike, which is awesome, Sandalphon loves hiking, find somewhere where the bare earth is showing and the sun will be on you at the same time, but not like I get sunburnt really easy, so I have to be careful with this one. But go somewhere like that. And if you do have to be in the sun for very long, it's better with working with the angels to not wear sunscreen, because it's a barrier to the health benefits of the sun, which is a barrier to nature. So if you can only be out for a couple of minutes, then do so, and then go back to a shady spot still within the area you're at, preferably. And just remember with the angels to always have your bare feet in the soil if it's safe to do so. Hold one of the stones or crystals that I mentioned at the first part. And even with Sandalphon, you can literally just touch stone, touch earth, and really connect into his energy that way. And he's a really good ally just to have in general in life. Sandalphon's big goal is really trying to help us understand how to have fun again. And that's something that I know in today's world especially, learning how to laugh, learning how to enjoy ourselves, and really enjoy life again is huge. So take the time, reach out to Archangel Sandalphon, and just learn to embrace life again and not just work. So I hope that this is something that you guys are interested in. Like I said, I've got one more angel for sure in August, and then in September I'm working on something a little bit more unique for the last of the month video. And almost forgot what I was going to say. If you like what I'm doing here, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you want to see more. I've got several videos already up. And if you have a comment, go ahead and leave that below. My only request is that it be respectful, even if it's correcting me or whatever. I'm okay with that. Just like I said, we have enough harshness in the world. We can be respectful in our corrections or comments. So, other than that, I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I will talk to you again later.